Just had to start this Vlogmas with a bang, and this is the look that we're going to be recreating today. Isn't this everything? Welcome back to my channel. I am Jaquay Monet, wig maker and master cosmetologist, and today we are going to be recreating this look, you guys. Like, this look is everything. Today is the first day of Vlogmas, and I just had to start this Vlogmas with a bang, and this is the look that we're going to be recreating today. Isn't this everything? And this is my first time like ever doing something outside the box like this. Like, I am so afraid of color, and I've always been kind of hesitant to do something like this, but I wish I went ahead and tried this a long time ago. I just love it. Like, it is everything like that. And I had a blonde wig, and I had a 12-inch blonde wig in my stock. So I'm like, you know what, let me go ahead and use that length and just recreate it using a 12-inch. And this is what we have, and I literally did this from scratch. I'm going to show you guys everything step by step. So let's get started and let's get into this tutorial. And these are all the products that we're going to be using in this tutorial, and I'm going to leave everything in the description section. So the first step that we're going to do before coloring this wig, we're going to go ahead and tone this wig first. And what I'm using is my Soul Blonde Lace Paste toning shampoo. And then you're going to go ahead and apply the toner into a clear container. And this is honestly the best way to tone a wig. You don't want to apply the toning shampoo directly onto the hair, because you know toning shampoo is very pigmented, and so the best way to tone it is just getting a clear container, applying water, and then putting the shampoo into the container and just making sure that it's mixed properly. And you can dip it quite a few times, and I want you guys to look at the before, and then you guys are going to see after the difference that the hair is going to look once it's completely toned. I like to start off with a blank canvas, and I feel as if once you go when you go ahead and tone a wig or just tone hair first before applying the product, especially since we're working with semi-permanent colors, is that it's going to stick better. And when I say stick, meaning that it's going to coat the hair better. And you guys notice how evenly toned it is, and just look at those roots, because I hate to start, especially when I'm working with blonde hair, I hate to start when the hair is that yellow blonde. I like to go ahead and tone it first, and this is good to do on wigs and extensions, because when you get ready to apply that semi-permanent color, you guys will see it's just going to deposit the hair so much better, and it's going to give you a beautiful blend. And this is what you guys should have. And notice just how it's evenly toned. And so that's why when you're toning blonde wigs especially, just make sure that you tone it this way instead of applying the shampoo directly onto the hair, because what's going to happen is only going to tone just certain sections of the hair instead of the entire wig. Next, you're going to go ahead and apply hot water into that same container that we previously used. I'm using the same container. And now we're going to go ahead and apply the semi-permanent color, Kiss Colors Limelight, into the bowl first. And then we're also going to be mixing this with a Dora Green Apple, but we're going to use majority of the Kiss color. And next, you're just going to go ahead and grab your lace paste mixture and just make sure that you properly mix those colors into the bowl. And so if you noticed before, it was a little bit too green, and so I'm just adding more of the limelight into the container, and I'm just going to go ahead and continue mixing it some more. But overall, I just used one full bottle of the Kiss Colors, the Limelight, and then I just used a little dash of the Adora Green Apple. And next, just to make sure that we have the perfect shade, I'm just going to go ahead and do a strand test. And I want you guys to get into the habit of doing a strand test, because it's going to allow you to determine if that's the correct shade or not. And just before you saturate any hair with color, just get into the habit of doing that. And so next, we're just going to go ahead and apply our Got2b product onto the lace, just to protect those knots, just so the color doesn't stain the lace. And again, you just want to make sure that those knots are properly protected. And so you just, since we're working with a frontal, we're just going to make sure that it's plied completely over the entire front part of the frontal. And you guys notice this shade. This is so pretty. I just love this. I cannot wait to see what color we're going to get with this mix. So what I did first was I dipped the frontal area into the bowl first, but because I want this to be an even color, I just decided to go ahead and dip the entire wig. Seeing that this wig is short already, I just decided to go ahead and just dip that entire wig into the bowl. Well, into the container, I should say. And this is what you guys should have. You notice how the color in the product is just evenly placed onto the hair. And notice, remember I told you that when you go ahead and you tone the wig first, it just absorbs the color much better. And not even absorb, it just deposits better onto the hair. And this is why we go ahead and we tone the wig first before doing a watercolor. And if y'all look closely at these knots, you guys will notice that it is not stained at all. And that's exactly what we wanted. So when we get ready to part that hair, it's just going to look so natural. And I want to show you guys something. And one thing that I wanted to make sure that I did on this channel was make sure that I teach you guys. And so I'm going to go ahead and do a watercolor with the black color, which is the number 1. But again, this is a semi-permanent color, so it's not going to deposit on the hair like I want it to. But I just want to show you guys something. And so because I went ahead and I completely saturated the wig into the bowl, and the entire wig is grained, what's going to happen now is that it's not going to stick. It's not going to, I keep saying stick, it's not going to deposit onto the hair properly, because again, now if I didn't do that and the hair was blonde, it definitely would have deposited. But again, the entire wig is green now, lime green, and so this, notice right here, it's not depositing. And so what we're going to have to do now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to use a permanent color. But I picked up something from Sally's, and it's going to be something that you guys can pick up from your local Sally's too. But don't say I didn't put y'all on until you guys see what the color that I'm going to use next. Next, I wanted to teach you guys something about working with these wigs. I want you guys to make sure you guys get into the habit of wiping down your blockheads anytime you're working with these wigs, because anything can happen, and whatever color you were previously working with, sometimes it can transfer on to the new wig, and that's going to create a whole new problem. And the last time I used this blockhead was to color a wig jet black, and so I just wanted to make sure none of that jet black color didn't now transfer onto this new color. So make sure you guys also get into the habit too of putting like a shower cap over your wigs. Now I would definitely advise you guys have 2 of those blockheads, the black blockheads. One if you're just doing all jet black colors, and then the other one if you're doing like colors like this, or if you're just lighting it blonde, just to make sure that you can avoid certain mistakes. So that's why I wanted to show this segment. And to apply the black color, we're going to go ahead and use our lace paste mini coloring board for this segment. And as always, one thing you guys are going to learn on this channel too is that we always section the hair. And I'm going to go ahead and section out the frontal area first, because I want to save that for last, seeing that that's going to be the first thing people see. And next, you're going to go ahead and section the back area as well. And again, we're going to go ahead and start placing that color at the very back first. Again, we're going to do diagonal sections. And so as always, we do diagonal sections on this channel. No horizontal section, only in certain situations. And yes, we're going to use horizontal sectioning for this tutorial, just at the very back of the hair. But other than that, oh yes, and at the top too. But you guys will see exactly what I'm doing in a second. And so you should have a total of 6 sections, 3 on each side. And so what ended up happening is, because that watercolor didn't work, I'm like, you know what, let me go ahead and try just putting a semi-permanent color into a bowl. And I just wanted to see how it was going to deposit. But I still didn't actually end up using that all over. But I wanted to show you guys also too, if you decided to go that route, what would happen if you went ahead and again colored the entire wig green. Because again, I want you guys to learn the do's and don'ts. And so I'm like, you know what, let me go ahead and do this, and let's see exactly what's going to happen, and to see if it's going to deposit. Just in case if you guys were thinking that, I'm going to show you guys exactly what's going to happen. And we're going to fast forward a bit. So I just went ahead and I did a couple sections because again, I just wanted to see how that semi-permanent black color was going to deposit onto the hair. And right now I'm just using water that's in a spray bottle, and I'm just wiping down the hair just to see what I have. And I'm going to show you you guys the results in a second. And here are the results. But you guys already know we're going for jet black. And the product of today is this Wella Tango 1NN. And this stuff right here is amazing. You hear me? This is amazing. And I'm going to be using that with a 10 volume developer because I wasn't for certain how it was going to respond to the hair. But I could have used a 0 volume developer because the thing about that 1NN is that it gives you 100% coverage in just 30 minutes. And then we're going to go ahead and use our Lace Paste Color Key just to make sure that we don't waste any of this product, seeing that it's a tube color. And so instead of pushing out the product, this is what you want to use to go ahead and squeeze out all of the product. And if for some reason, if you guys notice that the product isn't coming out the tube good, all you're going to do is just take that cap and just make sure you open up the hole a little bit more. And then it's going to come out much faster. Notice the difference now. And shameless plug, you guys can pick these up on my website, lacepaste.com. And next, the mixing ratio is going to be 1 to 1.5. So the tube is 2 ounces, so that means that we need to use 2.5 ounces of the developer. And again, it's 1 to 1.5. So since the tube is 2 ounces, that means we need to use 2.5 ounces of the developer. And this is the consistency you guys should have. And I'm going to show you guys when you know the consistency is perfect. If it can do this, that's how you know the consistency is right. And then we're just going to go ahead and resection up the hair. Again, we're going to section out the entire front section, all the frontal section. We're going to go ahead and section out. So we're sectioning it the same exact way that we did before. And then we're starting with the same sections, diagonal sections. And another pro tip, before you guys go ahead and apply the product onto the hair, what you want to do is you want to apply the product onto the coloring board first, because what it's going to do is it's going to allow the hair to stick better. And so that's why you do that first, and then you go ahead and apply the product onto the hair. And once you've done this the first time, you don't have to do that again. Next, you're going to go ahead and grab your lace paste coloring sheets. And what this is going to do, this is going to allow us to work with clean sections. Because we're working with black hair, we don't want this to get messy. We don't want the black color to get onto the roots. And so it's going to allow us to be able to perfectly apply the colors, the color on the ends, well, the mid shaft and ends, without getting that black dye onto the rest of the hair. And you guys are going to see exactly what it's going to do. Wait till you guys see the overall color. And again, we're working with diagonal sections. So remember, there is a total of 3 sections at the back. So we're going to do diagonal sections on each side, each back side. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up. And so all we're doing is just diagonal section on the left side and the right side as well. And y'all already know on this channel, we don't do horizontal sections when we're applying color onto the hair. But only for this back section, we're just going to do horizontal section. Just for that, I think that piece, another piece, we're just going to do horizontal sections. And now we're going to go ahead and move on to the bright side, and we're still doing diagonal sections as well. And once you're done with the right side, we're now going to work our way onto the top part of the hair. And we're going to be doing horizontal sections. So we're going to be doing a section going away from the face, just going straight back. And you guys are going to see the motion of my hand. The sections are going to go straight away, well, straight back away from the face. Next, when you're applying the black hair color, you want to apply it no more than 2 inches away from the root. And one thing I want to mention, make sure you guys are going in with your comb, and you want to make sure you comb that color all the way through, because sometimes even with the brush it doesn't saturate the hair properly, but because we want to make sure we get all of the hair, make sure that you guys are using your rat tail combs. And this is actually a lace base comb as well. And oh, really quickly, I wanted to show you guys something. So when you guys are applying that black hair color, try not to apply it where it's a straight line, because you're going to see that. So what you want to do is do like a staggered motion. That way it just kind of looks like it's almost the same thing that you would do when you're doing a highlight. So we don't want a straight line. And so something like this is what you want to have. And now we're done with the front section. And so now we're going to go ahead and work our way on to the sides now. And again, we're working with diagonal sections, so you're going to go ahead and do diagonal sections on the left side and the right side as well. And now we're going to go ahead and allow this to process for 25 minutes, and this is what you guys should have. And this is why we do diagonal sections. And I'm going to teach you guys a thing or two about color placement. Now you guys see this, there's no blunt lines, absolutely none. This is just amazing. And now you notice like none of the, there's no bleeders, meaning that there's none of the black dye that transferred over right here onto the green area, onto the front part of the wig. This is just perfect. And you see just how it blends. So just imagine when I go to put it up into a ponytail and do my style, like it's definitely giving. And then the shampoo that I use is the Schwarzkopf Blonde Me Keratin Restore shampoo. And if I tell you guys how good this shampoo is, we're gonna be here all day. I'm actually gonna do my top products for 2021, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, but that shampoo is everything. And then once I'm done shampooing the hair, I'm next going to go ahead and use the Blonde Me Keratin Restore Bonding Mask. And for those of you that are beginner hairstylists, if you guys want any advice when it pertains to professional products, I would definitely say invest into this. Now, I know silicone mix is amazing, and I love me some silicone mix too, But it's good when you're using products that your clients don't know and don't see. And even for those of you that maybe do your own wigs at home, if you have blonde wigs especially, make sure you guys invest into this shampoo and this bonding mask. You guys definitely thank me later. And you guys will see the difference in the hair in a second. And yes, the lace paste coloring sheets are reusable, and I'm just showing you guys quickly how to go ahead and wash them off just so they'll be ready for the next use. And this is all you have to do, and it saves you a ton of money. Now this is what you guys should have. And you guys notice how black and deep and rich that black color is? Perfect. Now look at that. No line of demarcation when we get ready to put it in the ponytail. This is exactly what you guys should have. Look at the roots. Perfect. I then allowed the hair to air dry overnight, and I'm just going in with my lace paste heat shield protecting spray. And you're going to spray that all over the hair and just work that into the hair and then just blow dry it. And all I did was just flat iron the hair. Next, we're going to go in with our Sleek It wax stick so we can go ahead and lay down the frontal section. Now look at this, just amazing. Now talk about a blend. And mind you, this is just a beginner video. You know, I have another trick on how to even blend the roots even more, but I didn't want to overwhelm y'all with too much information, but let's go ahead and install this wig. And now for this install, I'm not going to do a ball cap method. Instead, I'm going to show you guys a new technique you guys can do when installing your wigs. I'm going to be using the Lace Paste Scalp Corrector Kit. And next, we're going to go ahead and grab our Flawless Blender brush. And we're just going to go ahead and, so what I'm doing is that I'm just matching up my complexion. And so I'm going to be using these two shades, and I'm going to be applying the product onto the lace. And what this is going to do is this product is going to give me the most realistic scalp-like look without me having to do the ball cap method. And you guys want to make sure that you apply it over the entire lace. And this is what you guys should have. Look at that. And it's going to give me that scalp look. Like, look at this, you guys. Just amazing. You guys can see that shadow already of the scalp. And I went ahead and just put it on the canvas head so you guys can just have a better view of it. First, we're going to go in with our Gold Glueless spray and lay down these edges. Now, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but you guys just look at this. And mind you, like the lace is not stained. Just look at the scalp. You guys can already see just how natural it looks. I really did my thing with this. And next, before I go ahead and lay down the lace, what I like to do is just cut off the excess lace first and just make sure that I have the right measurements, just to make sure that everything is going to be fit and sized the right way. And here's another pro tip, you guys. So you want to make sure that you cut off the excess pieces on the side first, not pieces, but lace on the sides first, and just make sure that it's sized perfectly and correctly before you go ahead and lay that down, because that's a huge mistake that you can end up making if you don't go ahead and just make sure that you have the perfect fit and size first before you go ahead and lay that lace down. Next, we're going to go in with our Lace Paste Liquid Supreme, and then we're just going to go ahead and apply that along the hairline. And so this is one step you guys definitely don't want to skip. You want to make sure you just cut the lace into sections. And I find that laying it and cutting it this way and laying it section by section just works much easier, and it just gives you a better look overall. And next, we're just going to go ahead and blend that product right into the skin. Oh, and I forgot to mention that this is a glueless method that I'm doing. So this is glueless, so my edges are not going to get destroyed or ruined because this is a glueless method. And right here, I'm actually using cool heat. So I'm using a mixture between hot and cool heat. And if you want an even stronger hold, you're going to go with your Go Glueless spray. Next, we're going to go ahead and lay this lace down, and we're going to use the back of our rat tail comb just to press that into the skin. And this is another tool that I want you guys to get used to seeing, and this is pretty much the edge brush, and it's just going to allow you to create a natural hairline. And this is another thing that I like to do. I just like to go in and tweeze the hairline just to make it look even more natural before I completely melt it. And next we're going to go ahead and apply our lace melt band, and we're just going to go ahead and allow the hair to dry and just give the lace time to melt into the skin for about 15 minutes. And now it's time for us to cut off that excess lace and just lay down this hairline. And whenever I'm cutting off the lace, I like to cut it in a zigzag motion just to create a natural looking hairline. And what I'm doing right here is I'm just using the Liquid Supreme to just go ahead and blend that hairline even more. And if you look closely, notice that the lace is starting to melt better. And this is what I like to do. I like to use the Liquid Supreme along the hairline, and then I'll follow it with the Glueless spray for an even more secure hold. And once you're done laying down the hairline, we're going to go ahead and apply our lace melt iron again and give it another 15 minutes to dry. And now it's time for us to create these baby hairs. I'm sure you guys are just as concerned as I am when using that hot comb so close to your skin like this. I was like, Lord, please don't let me burn myself. And next I'm going to go in with my Shape Stay styling foam to lay down the baby hair. And I wanted to keep a little piece of the black hair right at the hairline, so that's why I'm just swooping it just so you'll be able to see a little bit of that black. So my son wanted to come and say hi, but this is my 17-year-old son, guys.
Hey, YouTube. That's great. All right, good night, Mom. Bye, YouTube.
So let me give you guys another pro tip. When you're parting out your bang, make sure you part it out in the shape of a triangle. Next, you're going to use your stand-up flexible styling spray so we can be able to put this hair into a ponytail. And it's a workable spray, so the hair is not going to be stiff because that's not what we want. We're going for a messy bun. And then you're just going to go ahead and twist the remaining hair like into a knot, and we're just creating a messy bun. And then I just secured it in place with one bobby pin. And then you're going to go ahead and do the same thing with the left side, and this is what you should have. And next, I'm going to go ahead and define my part even more using the Lace Paste Scalp It brush and the scalp corrector. And whenever I'm doing this technique, I like to use this lighter shade. So I would say go a shade lighter than your complexion. Or I mix my complexion, the shade that's my complexion, with the lighter shade too. That's something you can do as well. And next we're going to go ahead and blend the hairline as well. And I'm just using my hairline brush, and I'm still using a shade that's my complexion, just to give it a scalp appearance right along the hairline. And this is what you should have. And I did my makeup off camera, but here is the finished look, you guys. And this is the finished look. And did I nail Billie Eilish color or what? I mean, this is everything, you guys. I just love it. And I know some of you guys are beginners, but each week I'm going to go ahead and help you guys get more comfortable with color. It's just all about technique, and I'm going to teach you guys as time go on. I'm going to get dressed, and I'll be right back. Look, I just paired it with some Aldo boots, a pleated skirt, a white shirt, and white purse.